Hi, welcome to the Real Estate Roundtable, where we discuss all topics real estate. I'm Nick Ahrens.
Hey, and I'm Steve Crowley.
I'm Darren Shepard.
And I'm Jimmy Reed, and we're your hosts.
Hi, everybody. It's Jimmy Reed with the Reed team, and we are here with another episode of the Real Estate Roundtable, where we talk about everything real estate. And today we have our operations manager, Gabby Cable.
It's Cabell.
So before we went on air, I was telling her that, hey, you know, I can't call you using Siri unless I say Cable, because if I say Cabell, it's like doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, and I said, that's been my entire life. Everyone first time calls me Cable.
Yeah. So Siri calls you Cable too, just so you know. It misdials. So Gabby Cabell, anyway, she's awesome. Let's start before today we're going to be talking about systems and tools, right? But how long have you been on the team?
I've been just over a year.
Okay. It seems so much longer than that.
It really does.
It seems like forever today.
Yeah.
But how long have you been licensed?
I've been licensed since last September, so I can't do the math right now.
Yeah, so it's about like 7 months, 6 or 7 months, something
around
like
there.
Yeah. Okay, so last September we're talking about 2021.
Yes, 2021.
Got it. Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. So before that, you were a teacher.
Yeah, I was
actually. Why real estate? You go finish. I'm sorry.
No, I was teaching in kindergarten, and then I was actually at a preschool just right before coming here.
Right.
So part of the reason real estate, my mom's in real estate, so that already kind of inspired me to do the same. And before switching completely over, I thought I would be able to do, teaching and real estate at the same time. After the pandemic hit, I was kind of feeling a little burnt out on teaching and just the education system as a whole. And it was just a very clear breaking point in my life to be able to transition and try something new.
So tell me more about the teaching and doing real estate part. Now that you have been with the team for about a year, for any teachers that are listening.
It would be really hard.
Yeah.
I think you could do it because in my mind I was like, oh yeah, teaching, we got summers off. But the reality of, having a consistent business in real estate is you got to be on and following up with your clients consistently. So that way, even if I were a teacher, I'd have to follow up throughout the year. So when summer comes, they're thinking of me to actually transact. But
so
obviously it didn't go that route. It wasn't for me.
This is true. Well, you wanted to initially come in, you were thinking sales support to some degree, but you're doing sales support. You're actually managing a division of our team, which is massive sales support. But you were thinking more on the negotiating side, kind of like what your mom does, right?
Yeah, more of the actual sales, client-facing side. And
got it.
Yeah, that now, after seeing, what all of you guys do and all these top producing agents over here, I'm not sure that would be my cup of tea. I like my space, behind the computer supporting our team that I get to see every day, and helping manage the marketing.
Maybe you never know. Maybe at some point.
Maybe.
You never know, but it's your decision. You're going to have that skill set, and you certainly know how to do it. But so when you're talking about, like, when you're being able to balance being a teacher, in that example, being able to follow up with people. So today we're really talking about systems and tools, and one of the most important, I would say, is a CRM, customer relationship management tool. Why? And we use Follow Up Boss.
Yeah, so we use Follow Up Boss. I think why we use Follow Up Boss is just it's a monster machine of a tool. And I'm going to try to not go in too much into the weeds.
She loves the weeds.
I love the weeds. I'm such a nerd. I get excited about, these systems and tools and figuring out, how it's going to make everyone's life easier, basically.
Right. So I have a question now that you just said that before you dive into the weeds. What about it makes it more difficult for them? So think about that for a minute. You've been here long enough. It's supposed to make their life easier as an agent. When it becomes, what is it that they don't do that makes it really difficult for them?
Well, I think I would say that with any tool, if you're not using it the way that it is meant to be used, it's going to make your life harder.
Right.
So, I mean,
Exactly.
we've heard our, Tom Ferry or anyone in the business is like, oh, what's the best CRM? And you've even said this. The best CRM is the one that you're consistent with and actually committed to using.
Right. It's true.
So
it's like
on our
anything else,
team,
which one is the best gym?
Yeah.
The one you'll walk into every day, right?
Right.
Yeah, or the best diet, the one you'll stick to,
Yeah.
right? That's how it's got to start.
But with our team and just between all the different platforms we use, Follow Up Boss interacts really well with all the other systems that we do use as well. So not only that, like I said, if the agents stick with it, it's going to help their lives easier and their client experience, who they're helping should reflect that as well.
Yeah, you answered one of the questions that I was thinking about when we were talking about, this podcast and what to do, why Follow Up Boss. And we're not being paid to do this. We're not, in fact.
But Follow Up Boss, if you want to sponsor our team, call me.
Yeah, right. Dan, are you listening, Dan? But anyway, the reality is they play nice in the sandbox with everybody. Yeah. They're working really hard in a partnership at a beta platform right now between Zillow Flex and Follow Up Boss, so they communicate bi-directionally instead of just one way from Zillow to Follow Up Boss. They work really well with other reporting systems that we use. Follow Up Boss, as we're texting out of it, calling out of it. It catches all of our Google Mail and everything else and tracks everything we're doing. It reports really well into a system called CSU.
Yep.
Right. But, hopefully we're going to, as we're talking about this, at a later date, our marketing team is going to be able to pull in and kind of show you what CSU looks like and the board. It'll be able to show you just some maybe interaction, just a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. But, one of the big things about goal setting and, making calls, like you said, and keeping organized with my client database is that I want to see the results. Mm-hmm. Well, those are the things that Follow Up Boss tracks. It doesn't always, like pop its head out of the screen and say, hey, dude, you need to make your calls today. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We get reminders. But the beautiful thing about Follow Up Boss is that it's a client relationship management tool that allows our marketing team in the back end to be able to market to our database.
Yeah.
It projects and totally systematized, customized how you want it up onto screens. You can't see them right now in our office, but there'll be screens that actually show how many calls people are making, how many transactions, where we're at.
Yeah. And with, let me just backtrack a little bit. I mean, like you said, it's about making phone calls. The phone calls are what's going to create business.
Right.
What Follow Up Boss, one of the major things about Follow Up Boss and how we've built it out, is that it will help the agents on their daily, time blocks to make their phone calls, call the right people.
Oh, that's true.
They're not just shooting in the dark.
Randomly calling.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, we try to tell everyone you're going to.
So let's get in the weeds on that for just a second. So how do they know to call the right people on a very, very high level without them being trained on Follow Boss? How do they know how simple really is it when I walk in, I'm a newer agent using Follow Boss? How do I know who I'm supposed to call?
Yeah, so in Follow Up Boss, they're called smart lists. You call them buckets, and you just work your way through your buckets. We have stages of hot, warm, cold clients, our anniversary clients. So every day, you're just calling a little bit from each list.
Right.
That Follow Up Boss and how we built it out filters through. Those are the people on this list today. When you call them, they jump out of the list until, the set time to when they fall back into the list.
Based on where they're at on the perceived stage of their journey, real estate journey, right?
Yeah, so you're not calling everyone all the time, every single day.
Based on where they're at in their journey, right?
Yep.
I guess why I always had a coach that used to say, empty your buckets, buckets, right? And so, going through the smart list that we call buckets tells us where they're at in the funnel, and it's all automated. And as long as I've got them staged right, and they're like in conversations that they want to buy in the next 90 days, well, that's probably a warm client. If they're already ready to rock and roll, hey, Jimmy, I think we want to list our home this week, or within the next 30 days, they're going to be hot. The point is, all I have to do is stage them.
Yeah.
Stage them properly. And then every day I walk in, I know exactly who to call, and it's fantastic. On top of it, then we're marketing to them. Our marketing team grabs everything, and they're being marketed to, right? And then it's also being posted, to our board, so that way everyone can see the progress on how many calls I said I want to make this year. Here's my goal, right? Well, now everyone can hold me accountable to that because, hey, there it is, and I'm not having to manually do anything. Follow-up boss is reporting it on my behalf.
Exactly. And then for, our sales partners here, they know exactly where they're at, or, if they're not having anything in their pipeline, it's directly in correlation with how many calls that they've made.
Right. There's another, so when I think about this, right, it seems so real estate centric when we ask these questions, like so myopic, and it's only like in my, I can only see real estate, right? But why do you think it benefits the client experience? Why do you think it is that? Think about all the tools and how we use it.
I mean, we're a client-based business, first and foremost.
True.
That's with any of our systems and our tools that we use, it's always to make the client experience better.
True that.
So, yeah, like, are you going to bust a rhyme right now? What is this?
Maybe. I might. Give me a minute.
But to elaborate on that just a little bit, if we provide an amazing experience for our clients, and then they never hear from us again.
Right.
They're like, man, I know a realtor. I don't even know if he's in real estate anymore.
Right.
Follow-up boss helps.
Why's it got to be he?
Or she.
Just kidding.
Like she.
I'm just kidding. But it's true, though. Here's the thing, is that's the biggest complaint when polled by the National Association of Realtors is why would you never, because it's lack of communication. They never followed up with me.
Right.
They never followed up with me. I said that I was interested in this, or I wanted more information, or they said after we closed, they were going to follow up after we got moved in, and they just never followed up with me. Hence, the owner of Follow-Up Boss and the founder, a friend of mine, Dan, it's called Follow-Up Boss. It's our boss. We submit to it willingly to say, okay, I'm going to set it up for all those reasons.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep me connected with my database, because if you do it right, you're going to grow. I mean, you look at the numbers this team posts, it's because, and they don't do Follow-Up Boss perfectly. We're constantly going back to the, hey.
I don't think any of our systems are done perfectly, but I mean, we're making progress.
It's progress, not perfection. But the point is, even as, again, using the baseball analogy, if I strike out 7 out of 10 times, I'm the highest paid in the, in the league. But the reality is it's the same in real estate. If you really care, you're going to have these systems in place. You're going to do the things. You're going to spend the extra money, spend the extra dollar, right? The extra time, go the extra mile for your clients. And if you're doing that, they're going to feel it. And they're going to appreciate that you follow up with them.
Yeah.
But let's face it, who has the kind of memory, like an elephant, that you're going to, it's really nice going to bed at night, Gabby, knowing that my calendar's scheduled tomorrow for me with my tools and systems. I've spent so many years early in my career waking up in the, sweats in the middle of 3 o'clock in the morning, panicking because I forgot to call somebody. Oh my God, I thought I was going to, right?
Right.
And I didn't, so today you can rest your head on your, pillow and go to sleep and sleep good, knowing that you're organized and it's organizing it for you.
Yeah.
All you have to do is stage them right. That's it.
Yep, exactly. And then, like you said, no one has a perfect memory. So one of the amazing things Follow-Up Boss does is track all of your notes that you're taking on the client. They just got a new dog, and
right. Or,
this is their situation right now. That way, when you do contact them again, you can bring up, what's going on in their lives. You're meeting them where they're at. Right.
And hopefully we're going to be able to show you some slides, overlay it on this podcast.
Yeah.
And, if not, at the very least, some attachments. But what that looks like is, I always call it the medical chart. If you're looking at Follow-Up Boss on the whole left-hand side, there's medical charts. There's I call it the medical charts because it's got name, information, email, contact information, but it also has all the background information on them so that you can quickly get caught back up if it's someone that you haven't transacted with in 10 years, or maybe it's someone that you haven't chatted with or barely had a little bit of, and they get busy, everyone gets busy and they want to put it on hold, that's fine. But by the time they re-engage, you still have all their information, you know, and you've taken the time to thoughtfully put it in there. So that way, when you do re-engage, people appreciate it. They, you know, they do appreciate it, and people do say that, right? So
you're going above and beyond to treat them like they're real people, and that's, like I said, we're client first.
Right. So here's the thing right now, just I'm going to be a little impromptu. So what's driving Gabby nuts right now is we've got a Mexican restaurant going in right next to us, and she's going, oh my gosh, they're using the saw right doing her podcast.
I'm trying to adjust the audio.
It's okay.
I'm our producer, and then also
yeah, operations manager. But all I want to say is this: it doesn't matter. Who cares? Anyway, okay, it's all good. You good?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. Inside, she's going, no, I'm not. I'm not good. But anyway, so here's what I also want to bring up: our CRM, our customer relationship management tool, Follow Up Boss. So it helps us integrate with our lender partner as well. So imagine we're connected with somebody and they know they need to get pre-approved and they're like, hey, do you have someone you can introduce them? In fact, I do. We can do it right out of Follow Up Boss.
Yeah, and that's a huge, huge part that helps, you know, our client experience just be very seamless.
Right.
That so much of our job is with communication, but that's not just with our clients.
Right.
That's with the lenders. That's with our transaction manager. That's with escrow, you know, everyone involved. And I mean, you said it, our preferred lenders are actually in Follow Up Boss as users. So they're seeing the same communication that our sales partners are having with the client.
Right.
Same with our transaction manager.
And listing manager.
Yes.
Yeah. So everyone that's a part of the transaction, they don't have to like text everyone, blow everybody up. Ask the client the same question over and over again. And if I'm the client, I'm thinking, can you guys all get on the same sheet of music? Is there a general contractor here so I don't have to be the GC? You know?
Right.
So Follow Up Boss allows you to do that. And so could you imagine, for example, that's why I call it the medical chart, right? Could you imagine going into surgery and you're like having to ask the anesthesiologist, hey, you talked to the doctor, right? You guys are on the same sheet of music. I'm allergic to this. And they're like, yeah, I've got the medical chart right here. Could you imagine if they didn't? So when you're dealing with someone's finances and you're selling their home, they're buying a home, you're hoping that they're actually talking, right? The realtors, the communication between the lenders, the title with escrow and all the things. Certainly transaction management. If it's all in one place and the people that are a part of it can see it, how fantastic of an experience is that for the buyer or the seller? That's
just going to alleviate so much more stress on the client, even on our team, and you know, everyone that's involved.
Right. So in an example with that, you know, using our lender, they're able. Let's say they have a lending consultation and they do a Zoom call. They're able to, you know, at Neo Home Loans, they just go in and they assign the right lender or loan officer to the client, and then they make notes right there, and we see, aha, this is what they talked about. Oh, and it looks like, you know, they qualify for X, so that way we can we can just hit the ground running with them and talk to them about it, right? And so they know that it's not like they don't know what's going on. We just collaborate, we talk. It's fantastic. Now imagine that without that, the way we used to do real estate. It's a bunch of phone calls. It's a bunch of emails. The telephone game ensues, and it's a lot of miscommunication.
Careful, you're going to age yourself. Sending faxes.
I know. Text faxes. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like a mess.
It's true. Snail mail. Yeah, we did a lot of faxes back in the day. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So, I mean, look, my white beard already ages myself. You know, so. This was because we didn't have Follow Up Boss. I'm actually only 32. Anyway, just kidding. Yeah. So anyway, so if you want to know more about, if you're an operator out there, if you're somebody that's into systems and tools and you're looking, you know, to support your real estate team at a higher level. So
you can always reach out to me.
Yep. operations@reedteamhomes.com, or just go on our website and you can find Gabby Cabell, not Cable, but you can call her Cable. It's okay. It's a little fun.
No.
Yeah. You can reach out to Gabby. She's super helpful, super knowledgeable, And we're always growing here. We do have room on the team if you're looking to join a team, but we're really here to kind of give back to the community and help. That's what this podcast is for. And if you're a client or you're a potential client, you're wondering, how do they do it? What's different? We're trying to do a little bit of that too. So that way you feel a little bit more comfortable about who we are. That's why we constantly rotate the team members on and off the podcast. So thanks again, Gabby. I'm proud of you. A lot of growth. I can't believe it's only been a year. It seems like so much longer.
Learned a lot. I'm wearing a lot of hats.
Yeah, you have, but you're also what we didn't do is we didn't talk about, we can do it in a future. In fact, I think we have a podcast coming up on our professional coaching. We are coached by Tom Perry at the Team Plus level, but you have your own coaching schedule for you and the operational staff.
Yep.
Our transaction department, our listing department. So you oversee all things operations, but you also oversee all that. And you're also professionally coached by my coach, but separately, the same coach that coaches our team. So that's fun.
Yeah, that's been good. Very eye-opening and
well,
because part of just being coached is realizing like you're looking at a mirror of all your failures. Okay,
right.
Where are my weaknesses? Where do we have to grow? Which is a good thing.
Get better. That's how we get better. We don't get better unless we do that. Well, hey, on behalf of the Reed team and our podcast, the Real Estate Roundtable, all things real estate, we really appreciate you guys listening in. Participate, ask us questions, reach out to us. Gabby's fantastic.
Yeah, reach out.
Yeah, she'd love to answer questions for you, especially if you're a professional, you're a transaction coordinator, transaction manager, you're thinking about going into the operation side or whatever, just reach out to us. We're here for you. We're here to collaborate with you to help grow your business. We're here for, to be able to untangle the knots. A lot of people don't even know a lot of the stuff that we talk about. So that's why we kind of created the podcast, because oftentimes in masterminds, people just ask and ask and ask. And finally, Gabby's like, we need to do a podcast.
Yep.
Because all these things we're talking about are things that come up on almost every transaction, every interaction with the public as far as the real estate space. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying it. Please collaborate with us. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Hey, thanks again for listening to the Real Estate Roundtable. If you'd like to connect with any of the sales partners here on the Reed team, our information is below and we'd love to chat with you.